Hello and welcome to SearchPilot's latest webinar, Is Google Killing PLPs? What to do when shopping features crowd the SERPs. If you are working in e-commerce, this is a question you're probably asking yourself right now as you are checking your own SERPs. So let's get into it. But first, meet your presenter. I'm Demetria Spinrad. I'm an SEO consultant at SearchPilot. This is my first webinar for SearchPilot. I'm on the professional services team. I work with a wide range of our enterprise level customers. So I have customers in e-commerce, in media, local service providers, and more. But I work a lot, especially with e-commerce customers. So this is a question that's been on my mind and my customers' minds lately. And please feel free to ask me questions in the chat. We love to see folks engaging and discussing this. So I'm going to take you through a discussion of first of all, where those PLPs are actually appearing in the e-commerce SERPs, because as you may have noticed, those are getting pretty crowded. Then we're going to talk about those specific SERP features and of course AI overviews, very hot topic this year. We're going to take a look at what those are doing to PLP's role in the purchase funnel. And then looking ahead for the future, where will PLPs be visible and relevant in search and in search results if those trends continue? And of course, we are an SEO testing company. I want to give folks a look at what SEO testing in this crowded SERP environment can look like. So first off, let's talk about the status of PLPs in Google Organic Search today. So PLPs, product listing pages, are of course a critical SEO entry point for e-commerce sites. This is where customers can see all of the products within a category. So this is where you're hoping they're going to start making decisions about which of those products they'd like to purchase. But recent Google shifts like AI overviews, zero-click answers, and rich SERPs have impacted PLP traffic and visibility. So let's get into what those SERPs are looking like today, because it is a pretty dramatic shift from even a few years ago. So as an example search, I have searched for green wool cardigans, and I have examples here on desktop and mobile of what's above the fold. So if you take a look at what is on desktop, you're seeing those sponsored products, and then you're seeing popular products, which is it is technically an organic result, but those are all PDPs coming in through that shopping feature. So there was no opportunity at all for a PLP to rank above the fold in this environment. On mobile, you can see again those sponsored products getting top billing. Then you've got images, and then just a tiny little sliver appearing above the fold of our first PLP that is ranking on mobile. So I actually went ahead and did a screen recording on desktop of me scrolling all the way down to that first PLP that's ranking and clicking on it. That is how far down the page I have to go to get an organic PLP search result for a query that is I would say, pretty high intent to buy. And I zoomed out, and I have an arrow here pointing to exactly where that is. So that is how far someone is going to have to scroll down to the first PLP result on the page. It is not the first organic result, because there are things like popular products and images that we would consider for our purposes organic results, but it is the first blue link on the page. And as we can see on mobile, slightly shorter scroll down there, but still having to scroll a bit to get to that first of our 10 blue links. So let's go through what all of this stuff is that is pushing the PLP so low down on this page. First off, on the left-hand side, you've got our filter feature. This is actually going to basically refine your query. So it's going to take you to new queries with new paid and organic results. So it's not going to surface your PLP. It's just going to take you to a succession of other opportunities to look at more PDPs. You've got your PPC shopping results, so your paid shopping results up top. Then you've got your popular products. These are organic and they have more rankings inside, and we're going to take a look a little later at what exactly those look like. but a PLP is not going to be ranking here. These are all your product detail pages here. You've got your suggested searches. So this is organic in the sense that it's going to take you to other organic search results, but it's not organic in the sense that it is going to take you into someone's site. You've got your images, which are organic. You've got your products with deals, which is organic. Again, more shopping features, more rankings inside those shopping features. And then down here, all the way down here, you've got your first organic blue link. So I'll look at what all of that looks like all together. Really crowded looking SERPs. So let's take a look inside an organic shopping feature. So you can see your first organic ranking in there, but this is really interesting. There are more rankings for the same product within this shopping feature. So this is not just one PDP ranking above the PLPs. This is every site that sells the product ranking above those PLPs. And within those PDP results, you're going to have some competition for the top spot. Partially based on price, but not solely based on price. You may even have so many PDPs trying to rank for this that you're going to have some that are hidden by that more stores menu. So, is everyone seeing the same SERPs? I am in America, obviously, where a lot of Google results get rolled out. Some of their more experimental SERP features get rolled out here first, so we tend to be the first to see some of that crowding, and the answer is no. Different territories are seeing different results. This gets talked about in SearchPilot in particular because we are an international company. We've got a lot of folks in the UK. We've got a lot of folks in the US. There is no filter feature showing in the UK right now. So that is a pretty big chunk of the page and opportunities to interact with things on the page that's just missing in a different market. And at least when I was using my VPN to check things out, I was seeing images, not popular products, ranking first for the same search query. So we still have those sponsored products, but then we have something that is not directly a shopping feature below it. Let's take a look at our results from India. We do have that filter feature. It does exist, but it was collapsed on page load for me. You've also got your popular products first with no sponsored products. Again, this is just one example search, so I can't say that Indian search results are going to look like this all of the time, but that is a really interesting difference that you're not seeing those sponsored products up first at the top of the page. Looking at Tokyo, Japan, this was a really interesting one because images were actually first. That's a pretty rare one, seeing the images above any opportunities for Google to make some money with those sponsored products. And then the shopping results are down below, but again, still we're seeing not a lot of opportunities for a PLP to rank above the fold. Let's take a look at results from a different industry. So here I've looked for bulldozers for sale, and this is in the US. So we do have our sponsored products, all of the people who have paid to advertise those bulldozers, but we do have a PLP above the fold, and we have no organic shopping features in the SERPs. So even though some of those listings can be sponsored, we're not seeing the same density of shopping features crowding into those SERPs, presumably because something like bulldozers are a very different market than cardigans in how one shops for them and the volume at which they are produced. Let's take a look at puppies for sale. This is an interesting industry to take a look at because ads are allowed in this industry. There are sponsored results showing, but individual dogs are not treated as products. So there are no shopping features on this page whatsoever. I believe a little lower on this page there may be some map results as well, but we've got our PLP, our organic PLP showing from puppies.com, and we have some sponsored results above that. So what is this immense amount of crowding within the SERPs doing to the purchase funnel? So let's take a look at our traditional purchase funnel. I presume everyone has seen something like this before. You start with your awareness, Googling good brands to buy from, finding your brand. Then interest would traditionally be clicking through to your site, learning a bit more about your brand and what you offer. Consideration would be comparing the products on the site. This is the kind of place where someone might spend a lot of time on those PLPs. Intent would be deciding which product to buy, so clicking in from the PLP to the PDP, possibly even several PDPs, and comparing them. Conversion would be buying the product, happening on that product detail page, the PDP. And then loyalty would be coming back for more, presumably direct traffic to your site because the product was good, people liked it. Let's take a look at what that purchase funnel is starting to look like today. So you've got awareness. When you Google good brands, you might read an AI overview comparing those options. You might not be doing something like, for instance, clicking into a third-party review site. All of the awareness step might be happening within SERPs themselves without clicking through to any sites. Interest and consideration, again, someone might be searching for more specific queries, but they might be reading more AI overviews to get information. So they may never actually click through to a site during this step of the funnel. Intent, they may be clicking through to your site at the time that they already have the intent to purchase. Conversion, obviously buying the product, that would happen on your site. Going to the PDP, through that to your whatever your checkout process is presumably some kind of cart series of steps. And then loyalty would be coming back to your site. What's interesting to think about in this purchase funnel is that it could be the case depending on the product being purchased and how people end up getting to your site in that intent phase. They may have made all of their choices about the product to buy off of your site, so they may go through directly to a PDP. It may be the case that the first time they see your PLPs could be when they come back to your site through something like a loyalty program email. So let's take a look at a typical journey through this new purchase funnel. So I've started off here by Googling what are the different kinds of sweaters. I have no clear intent to buy them at the moment. I'm just sort of thinking about what might be a good sweater for me to purchase. And I'm comparing different types of sweaters, different materials. And I have decided to refine my search a bit. What I want specifically is a good sweater for layering. So I've looked for the best sweater for layering. So I'm starting to think about my purchase a little bit more, moving a little further down the funnel. And here I have, in addition to those sponsored products trying to get me directly to a PDP, I've got a Reddit thread suggesting a lightweight cashmere cardigan. So this is what I'm thinking would be a good sweater for layering. Now I'm asking, is wool or cashmere cheaper? And I'm learning from the AI overview, cashmere's going to set my budget back quite a bit more than wool. So here I'm deciding on what my intent to purchase is going to be. I want to look at best brands for wool cardigans. Here, maybe I would go into that New York magazine result there and take a look. And one of their recommendations is Uniqlo. So now I'm going to start looking at what I want more specifically. I specifically want a green Uniqlo cardigan. So here's the first point in the process where I'd really be seeing that PLP. In this case, because I've searched for such a specific branded term, I can, if I want, go into that PLP. Or I can look at the popular products and see what is essentially a PLP of green Uniqlo cardigans that Google has created for me. So some of those are directly from Uniqlo, but as you can see, some of those are actually used items. So Uniqlo is competing against its own secondary used marketplace, which is pretty interesting results-wise. But from here, I can actually get to their product detail page, and I can buy this cardigan. And if you'd like to learn more about the ways people are thinking about testing in this environment, I would really recommend signing up for our free SEO testing course. You can get a crash course in what developing a testing program for your PDPs and your PLPs looks like. That's searchpilot.com/SEO testing course. The instructor for that is Craig Bradford. He's really, really good at cutting through a lot of the hype that is in SEO today, really getting into the details of what you actually need to know versus just all the sheer volume of information that you could worry about or products that you could buy if you wanted. I believe that is actually something that he is finishing up developing right now. So if you want to sign up for that testing course, you'll be on a mailing list that will let you know as soon as it's available. So, of course, I get a lot of questions about what AI is going to do to this funnel. So let's take a look at a possible journey through the funnel with Google's AI mode. Obviously, this is one of many, many AI tools that I have available. So I haven't compared all of them because this is not specifically an AI-focused webinar. If I did, I'd also be taking a look at ChatGPT, at Gemini, maybe at Perplexity as well, I think is in the running, Claude. All of those are sort of developing their own chats with their own behaviors. But let's take a look specifically at Google's AI mode. So I've started asking exactly the same question. What are the different types of sweaters? As you can tell from the images it's pulling up, really the same things that we were seeing within regular Google SERPs, just packaged a little bit differently because this is AI mode and it is not going to show us all those blue links. And I asked the same question, what is the best sweater for layering? And this is really interesting. So something I noticed here is that Google already found a PDP for me in AI mode and recommended it right there. So I asked a general, not necessarily immediate purchase intent question, and it put something I could purchase right in front of me right there. So if I click that, I get something that looks just like those shopping results, and it is getting me right to that site. When I click in there, I go straight to that site. So that was a much shorter funnel. And if I decide to purchase this, I have completely eliminated all of those steps of the process where I even learned that I might want a wool cardigan. I just immediately got to that product and I'm done. So just a reminder about today's purchase funnel, a little bit more squashed than previous purchase funnels in the sense that the awareness, interest, and consideration are all happening within progressive Google search queries. But let's take a look at what that AI purchase funnel is looking like. The awareness, interest, and consideration all happening during the AI chat. No clicks into any sites until AI chat suggests a product that I could click on. So the intent is clicking on the AI recommended link. The conversion is buying the product. Obviously, loyalty, coming back to your site in particular instead of reopening a new AI chat when you want to buy a new product. That would probably happen through something like your loyalty program emails. Of course, a lot of people do like to talk about a future in which AI agents could be independently making purchases for you. That is not something that can happen today, but if it could happen, just theoretically, your awareness, your interest, your consideration, your intent, and your conversion, all of those things in the purchase funnel would be happening in your AI chat with your AI agent being able to make the purchase. And then the question is, loyalty, what happens next in that point? If your user has never even clicked into a site to make that purchase, how do you reach them? How do you make them aware that they even have bought the brand that they bought? How do you keep them coming back for more? So obviously a lot of anxiety about a world in which that would be possible. So let's talk about ranking in the current landscape, not the futuristic landscape where the AI is making all of our choices, but ranking in this landscape. So looking at what PLPs can rank for, because this is what's really tricky. A lot of things that are taking up the majority of those search results are things that your PLPs are not going to be able to rank for. PLPs cannot rank in those product shopping features. Just can't do it. Those are all your PDPs. Your PLPs can rank in the 10 blue links. So those traditional blue links that you're very used to fighting for rankings in, that is where your PLPs are going to be able to rank. And hopefully, if you have optimized those pages, are standing out. PLPs can rank in some of the other newer SERP features. For instance, the Explore Brands feature is able to take people to PLPs. And they can rank in image features. I didn't find it happening particularly often with fashion SERPs in particular, but this is something that can happen. They can occasionally rank in AI overviews and AI mode citations. I'm going to be honest, I would kind of doubt that currently this is a major driver of traffic for most e-commerce, but it is something I get a lot of questions about because people are hopeful in the future that these rankings in the AI overviews and the AI mode might be more of a driver of traffic. And of course, your PLPs can influence the rankings of your PDPs and the rankings of your other PLPs through internal linking. So even if your PLPs themselves are not very easy to find on the page, they may be partially responsible for your PDPs remaining competitive within those shopping features. So let's take a look at PDP rankings and where your PDPs can rank, because they can rank in those product shopping features. And that means that they are going to be seen quite a bit earlier in someone's scroll than the PLPs if you are in e-commerce in an industry that is seeing these kinds of SERPs. PDPs can rank within those product shopping features, so don't just worry about competing to be in the shopping feature at all. Worry about whether you're the one who is coming up first in those shopping features, because that is the one whose price and whose logo is going to be displayed in that shopping feature. PDPs can rank in the 10 blue links, and they can rank in image features. They can also occasionally rank in AI overview citations. Like I said, same with PLPs. Probably not a huge source of traffic for most brands right now, but it is something that people keep a very close eye on. And of course, as we saw in our very, very compressed AI mode funnel, PDPs can appear in AI mode as links and citations. And of course, PDPs can influence the rankings of PLPs and other PDPs through internal linking. So each page on your site does not rank in isolation. Every page has the potential to impact other pages in your hierarchy. So, quick cheat sheet there of which SERP features can rank by page type. Even though it looks like most of these can rank for most features, keep in mind how much of the sheer volume of the page was those product shopping features. So even though that's the one thing that PLPs can't rank for, that does cut out a pretty significant chunk of the page. And if you'd like to see how real e-commerce customers are doing and what specifically they're testing to get their PLPs ranking and look at how their PDPs are competing within all of these search features, I'd really recommend downloading our Ecommerce SEO testing pack that has real results, real anonymized customer data, and winning tests from the major e-commerce brands we work with. So that's searchpilot.com/e-commerce SEO case studies. So let's talk about SEO testing in this new search landscape. Of course, ranking factors you can A/B test. There are a lot of them. So I'm going to sort of go from most immediate on the page to off page to off your site entirely. So let's start with page content. You've got your above the fold copy, you've got what's above the fold, below the fold, you've got your FAQ content, product descriptions, product card content, your product reviews, your heading content, just sheerly looking at what is visible on the page there. So much that you could be testing. Looking at what is in the HTML structure of your pages, you've got your schema, you've got canonical tags, you've got your heading tag hierarchy. You would be shocked at how many heading tag changes are statistically significant tests for us. That is something that Google really looks at when it considers how important information on a page is. And of course, your title tag content. Again, huge number of winning title tag tests still. It is so important to signal to Google what a page is about, to have good title tags. Looking at site structure, you've got your internal links, so your links between the pages on your site. You've got breadcrumbs showing Google just the hierarchy of pages within categories. Your header navigation, obviously, really showing Google the most important pages on your site, and your site maps. We run tests on all of those. And then looking at Google Merchant Center. Even though that's something that is happening off-site, we actually can test it if we coordinate with the product teams who are running the Google Merchant Center account. Your store information, your product information, that may be pulling in some things like review information as well, your returns information, even though that can come from schema, it can also come from Google Merchant Center. So that is also testable. Just a quick cheat sheet there of all of the things you can test. This is by no means a comprehensive list of every possible thing you can test, but just getting you started on thinking about those ranking factors that you should really be thinking about testing. Looking at using PLPs to help your PDPs rank, I would recommend internal linking tests, obviously, for that, because that is where your PDPs are being linked to. Schema, obviously. There are some types of schema, like item list schema, that at least in some territories are actually showing your PLP might be ranking, but it can actually pull up a carousel of PDPs from the PLP. So there is an opportunity actually to get rich results within the SERPs that may help those PDPs get traffic directly from the fact that a PLP is ranking. And of course, looking at tests like pagination, testing whether you're displaying the optimal number of products for passing the right amount of link equity from your PLPs onto your PDPs. Of course, don't forget about SERP appearance. SERP appearance does still matter for your PLPs. Like I said, that new item list schema in some territories at least is pulling information from your PLPs directly into SERPs and giving just a really nice looking carousel. Schema, of course, keeping your rich results accurate and looking good. And your meta content. Title tags, like I said, they matter for rankings. They also really, really matter for click-through rates. And meta descriptions, even though we're finding more and more Google rewriting those meta descriptions, in cases where Google is not rewriting meta descriptions, they still matter. Your PDP's SERP appearance does still matter as well. That meta content, your title tags, your meta descriptions, that is still information that Google can use when it chooses how to display pages, even if it is at least partially rewriting your title tags or your meta descriptions. And of course, schema, still important. There are some rich results that can pull from Google Merchant Center, like your reviews, your return policy, some of those other rich results. But they can also come from on-page schema. So make sure that that on-page schema is giving Google the information it needs, that it is parsing correctly, and that it is giving you the SERP appearance that you want. Looking here at our popular products, even though this is something that you would expect to be pulling in from Google Merchant Center, some of that information about delivery, about ratings, that could also pull from schema. So that is still important information to make sure is actually in the HTML structure of your page. I did want to tell folks about a really, really exciting feature that SearchPilot is rolling out, about ways that we're tracking metrics beyond those 10 blue links. That is our new multi-metric tracking. This is something that people have been asking about a lot, and I am so excited it's finally here. So traditionally, obviously, when you're doing SEO testing, you're looking at just did organic traffic increase or not? But right now, what we are doing is we are looking specifically at where those clicks into your site came from. So were they on those 10 blue links, or were they coming from those Merchant Center clicks? So things that were coming in from the product feed. And in addition to looking at what was actually clicked on, we are looking at things like impressions. So are your products ranking? Are they actually getting impressions? And this is something that to really, really think about. If your products are ranking, but then they're not getting clicks, the question is, what about that appearance is causing them not to get clicks? So if you would like to try testing with SearchPilot, I would recommend booking a meeting with our team at searchpilot.com/request-a-demo. Our team would be really happy to walk you through the platform's features, these new multi-metric test features that we are so excited about. And we would really love to tell you more about what we've been working on. So feel free to ask questions in the chat. I would love to hear from you. I got a lot of questions about e-commerce in particular, and what these crowded SERPs are doing right now, what Google is saying that they'll do in the future. So I could talk everyone's ear off for hours about this. I would love to hear questions.